Hello, this is Mrs. Pervitas, the school counselor at Adams Elementary. I'm here to give you this week's lesson, which is about conflict resolution. Now, your first thought might be, what does that mean, conflict resolution? So let's look at each word. The word conflict means a disagreement, argument, or problem. Some people wonder, are conflicts good or bad? Well, the answer is neither. Conflicts just happen. They're not good or bad, they're simply part of life. Who do we have conflicts with? Well, that could be friends, parents, brothers, sisters, neighbors, just about anyone. I wonder if you've noticed having more conflicts lately, especially with brothers or sisters. I bet that's because we are spending so much time together at home, and we're not used to that. We usually have other distractions like places to go and things to do. So I hope that this lesson will help you either avoid conflicts or learn how to solve them. So we learned that conflicts are disagreements, arguments, or problems. And the word resolution means the action of solving a problem or disagreement. So, put together, conflict resolution means solving problems, disagreements, or arguments. The first part of our lesson includes a video.
As much as we try to avoid it, conflict is just a normal part of life. A friend, an enemy, our parents, it doesn't matter. We will disagree with others on things. Not everyone sees things the same way. Sometimes these conflicts can get pretty heated and snowball into something much bigger. We don't like this. So, what can we do to not go there? Well, you're in luck because today I have 4 simple things to remember to get from conflict to resolution. I'm Elvis, this is Rocket Kids, and let's get this started. Just stop. You ever had someone disagree with you? Sure you have. We think something is unfair, someone is being mean, or someone thinks we are wrong about something. It happens to everyone, even awesome people like you and me. Yeah, we're awesome. Look, when someone disagrees with us, it can leave us feeling frustrated, upset, or even a little mad. Maybe a lot mad. We may blame them, say hurtful words, or raise our voice. Then what happens? You guessed it, the situation gets worse. Before you know it, everyone is upset, saying hurtful words, screaming, and no one wins. So, stop before you react. Think about the situation, recognize your emotions, and stop. Did I say stop? Yes. Stop and don't go there. Watch your words. Sometimes we can't find the right words and we say something we didn't mean, especially when we are upset. Just remember, once you've said something, you can't take it back. It's out there. You said it and they heard it, and they probably didn't like it. So use nice words and calm voice. Don't put the other person down. Don't use mean comments and don't blame them for what's happening. These are all surefire ways for things to go horribly wrong. Watch your words. You can't take them back, just be nice. No one can be mad at nice. Listen up. This is a big one and often the hardest to do. When we are upset, it's hard for us to really hear what someone is saying to us. Like, really hear, with these 2 things. There is a reason the other person is upset or feels the way they do. Just like us, we are upset for a reason. But if we can listen to why the other person feels the way they do and put ourselves in their shoes, then it's much easier for us to find a solution. You can even ask them what's bothering them, so you can work it out. Let them talk. Don't interrupt, just listen. And let them know you understand how they feel. Finding a solution. This is where we can work together to come up with the answer that solves our problem. Remember, we aren't going to get here if we don't know what the problem is. So stop, watch your words, listen up. Each person can come up with solutions to the problem. Talk quietly about it, take turns, and don't scream. No one wants to see you pitch a baby fit. We are not babies. Solutions can be hard, and you may not get exactly what you want, because we have to compromise. Everyone should be equally okay with the solution. Sometimes we just have to accept it, even if we don't get anything we want. The important thing is, we didn't go there. So there you have it. 4 simple things to remember to keep us from going there when we disagree. There was a lot more to this, trust me, but this is a great start. Remember to stop, watch your words, and listen up. And don't go there. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe. I'm Elvis, and this is Rocket Kids.
Okay, I hope you liked that video. So I just want to review very quickly the 4 steps that we learned about in the Rocket Kids video. And those were just stop, watch your words, listen up, and find a solution. Let's go ahead and learn a little bit more about each of these steps. So the first one was just stop. As Elvis mentioned in the video, conflicts can make us feel very upset, frustrated, even mad. That is why step 1 is just stop. And what that means is stop yourself and don't react to what the other person is doing. They might be trying to get on your nerves or doing something that's annoying you. And if you react out of anger or frustration, it probably is going to make the situation worse. So what you need to do is take a moment to notice your feelings. If you are upset in any way, then do what you need to do to get back to feeling calm, or at least a little closer to calm. Step 2 is watch your words. Once you say something, you can't take it back. So be careful about what you say. Use these tips to help you carefully choose your words. First, use nice words. Use a calm voice. Be sure you don't use any put downs or say mean things. And even though it might be tempting, don't blame the other person in the conflict or problem. The third step is listen up. Actually listen to what the other person is saying. Sometimes it's hard to do that when we're in a conflict because we only want to talk about what we're upset about. But when the other person is talking, it's important to listen. Listen to their thoughts and feelings about the conflict. Try to understand how they are feeling and try to see things from their point of view. The fourth and final step is find a solution. This just means that you and the other person should work together to solve the problem. And each person should give some ideas for a solution. Then you talk quietly about those ideas to try to figure out which is the best solution. Make sure you take turns when you're talking and don't interrupt. When you are deciding on a solution, make sure that each person is okay with the solution. And you may have heard Elvis use the word compromise in the video. And that is solving a problem by each person giving up a little something. That way, both people have to kind of give up a little bit to find the solution instead of one person giving up everything and the other person not giving up anything. So if each person gives up just a little bit, that's called a compromise. So we learned about those 4 tips or 4 steps for solving conflicts. I wanted to remind you of some behaviors that might get in the way when you're trying to solve problems. So some of those are name calling, blaming the other person, making faces, not listening when the other person is talking and sharing their feelings, trying to get even with the person, bringing up problems from the past, making threats, pushing, hitting, put downs. bossing the other person around, making excuses for your part of the problem, or not taking responsibility. That's also considered like not admitting what you've done wrong. Trying to get other people involved in the problem. That just causes all kinds of headaches. Being dishonest or lying. And finally, rolling your eyes. That's similar to making faces, but it can cause a lot of problems. So try to avoid any of these behaviors when you're working on finding a solution. Now, here are some ideas for other ways to solve conflicts. This top row actually are ways you could avoid conflicts. It might be a good idea to try to avoid conflicts before they even start. And these 4 things could help you do that. So here we go on the end. If someone is annoying you, you might think about just ignoring it and seeing if that helps, especially if they're only annoying you a little bit. Why make a big thing about it? So try to ignore the person, and that might help the situation and prevent it from becoming a conflict. You all know about sharing and taking turns. That's a definite way to avoid a conflict. This might have gotten really tricky lately when multiple kids in the same family are having to do e-learning, and maybe there's only one device or 2 devices in the home. There's a lot of taking turns and sharing going on. As frustrating as it might be, that's a good way to avoid conflicts, is taking turns. You might even do something silly like do a rock, paper, scissors or flip a coin. Sometimes that's the easiest thing to do to avoid a conflict. Do something else. And what that means is, let's say you were wanting to play a certain game, but other people are already playing it. Instead of it becoming a conflict, how about you go do something else, and when the game is available, then you can take your turn. So here are some other things you could try to resolve conflicts. These first 4 in this second row are similar to what Elvis taught us about. The first one says, get calm first. Well, remember, if we're still angry or upset or frustrated, it's going to be hard for us to think of solutions. So it's very important to get calm first. Talk it out and use I messages like, I feel frustrated when you take the remote away from me. That would be an example of an I message. Listen to the other person. Remember, it's important to listen to them so you can hear their point of view. And then find a win-win solution. That's that compromise that I explained to you earlier. And finally, put yourself in the other person's shoes. Again, we want you to understand how they're feeling or what they're going through. Say words that mean no. So if someone is doing something that's bothering you or that you don't like, tell them to stop, or I don't like that, or please don't do that. Words that mean no. Well, you could always apologize. I know sometimes it's hard to do that, but it really can help the situation a lot. Now, if you have tried some of these ideas and nothing is helping, then it might be time to find an adult and ask for help, or maybe an older relative. But make sure you try some of these things on your own first. Okay, that's the lesson for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to let your teacher or your school counselor know if you or your family need anything. We all can be reached by email.